BetBlitz.
Hello everyone, this is Mike with BetBlitz. Welcome back to your source for daily sports picks. Solid day yesterday hitting all but one of our plays, but today's a new day and we're looking to set you up again with some of the best picks on both PrizePicks as well as Underdog. Now in our last video, we did have a like goal and you guys absolutely crushed it. So as promised, we will be dropping a bonus pick in this video. So make sure to stay tuned to the end of this video for that extra bonus pick. And if you guys would like a bonus pick in our next video, we are challenging you to get this video above 150 likes. And if you do that, we will be dropping bonus picks for the third consecutive day. So take a moment and hit that like button. Also, if the picks in this video aren't enough for you and you'd like access to even more picks, click our link in the description below to gain access to the outlet. These guys are the premier sports betting community, and right now you can gain access to them for 15% off when you use code BLITZ. These guys will get you right, so go give them a look. Also, at the end of this video, let us know down in the comment section below which of these picks you will be taking, as well as the ones you won't, and any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. Today, we will be getting into the NBA's doubleheader Thursday night between the Oklahoma City Thunder as well as the Indiana Pacers and the Denver Nuggets facing off against the Golden State Warriors. So again, take a moment and hit that like button. If this video gets above 150 likes, we will be dropping bonus picks in our next video. For our first pick, we'll be headed over to the three-pointers made tab, and this time we'll be taking Chet Holmgren for more than 1.5 three-pointers made. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, and by the way, if you would like to try Outlier for yourself, click our link in the description below to gain a free 7-day trial. Taking a look here on Outlier, we see this pick may come as a bit of a surprise to some of you, as this line Chet Holmgren has actually only exceeded in 3 of his last 10 games. However, we did see this line exceeded by Chet in Game 1 of the regular season between OKC facing off against the Houston Rockets. This is a line last season Chet Holmgren exceeded in nearly 40% of the games he played. He did have a little bit shorter of a sample size, playing just 55 games last season. Additionally, Chet Holmgren and the Oklahoma City Thunder will be facing off against an Indiana Pacers defense that last season was pretty solid defensively, defending against their opponent's perimeter shooting. However, they still gave up a fair share amount of threes to their opponents. And when it came to defending against the opponent power forward position, again, while the Indiana Pacers were ranked pretty high overall, they still were giving up a fair share amount of threes per game to the position. Here's the Pacers' defensive numbers against opponent centers for those of you who want to see that as well. But overall, we do expect Chet Holmgren to have enough opportunity to reach this line. Taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Chet Holmgren is getting a solid dose of minutes per game over his last 10 games, near 32 minutes per game. Game 1, he did go well above this average, close to 40 minutes in that game, with it being a double overtime. However, he did get into some foul trouble at the end. Otherwise, he might have had even more minutes played in that game. And while Chet hasn't been shooting as efficiently as we'd like to see him over his last 10 games, just under 30% three-point shooting, he did take a solid number of attempts over his last 10 games, over 3 attempts per game from behind the arc, and in Game 1 of the season, he did get up 5 attempts, which we do like to see, shooting 40% from behind the arc. So coming into this game, we do like Chet Holmgren to have plenty of time, as well as enough opportunity to reach this line. On his career, Chet has been a solid three-point shooter for his position, 1.5 threes made per game, and again, making a solid 2 3-pointers in the first game versus the Rockets. And coming into this game, we do like Chet Holmgren to continue his high percentage from behind the arc and get up enough attempts to reach this line. So for all these reasons, we'll be taking Chet Holmgren for more than 1.5 three-pointers made. Now for our next play, we'll be headed over to the PRA tab, and this time we'll be selecting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for less than 43.5 PRA. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, this pick may come as a bit of a surprise to you, as this line SGA has actually only exceeded in 4 of his last 10 games. However, this line SGA has failed to exceed in 50% of his last 20 games, as well as in nearly 60% of the 100 games he played last season. Now, SGA and the Oklahoma City Thunder will be facing off against an Indiana Pacers defense that last season was pretty below average overall when it came to defending against their opponent's PRA totals, and as well as pretty average overall when it came to defending against their opponent point guard PRA totals. However, the Pacers roster had seen a slight amount of change due to injury and some roster reconstruction, and with the fact that the Oklahoma City Thunder did end up playing a lot of minutes particularly SGA, going into that double overtime game 1 of the season, and then going on the road for this game. We aren't expecting that high of an output from SGA, although he is more than capable of reaching this line. Considering the circumstances, we don't expect him to reach this line. Taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that SGA is getting a solid dose of minutes per game over his last 10 games, just under 40 minutes per game. However, keep in mind, most of these games were in the NBA Finals and playoffs, where SGA was racking up a ton of minutes. And again, game 1 of the season was a double overtime game, so this is also bringing his minute total a lot higher. However, considering this is just game 2 of the regular season, we aren't expecting the Oklahoma City Thunder to run SGA into the ground this early on in the season, and for his minutes to be a lot lower in this game. On his career, SGA has had some solid PRA totals. However, in this game, we do feel his line is just slightly higher than it should be. And considering his game 1 performance, which was very solid, 35-5-5, and the fact that it took him 2 overtimes to get this, and now we'll be playing on the road against the Indiana Pacers in a hostile environment in a rematch of the NBA Finals, we don't expect SGA to have plenty of opportunity to reach this line. So for all these reasons, we'll be taking SGA for less than 43 PRA. Now for those of you guys who are wisely making picks on Underdog as well, we want to share with you a couple of nice plays that we think have a great chance of hitting, and that is Pascal Siakam for higher, or rather lower than 0.5 double-doubles, as well as Draymond Green for lower than 0.5 double-doubles. Unfortunately, with the way this site is right now, we are unable to show you these plays, but if you go on the app, these are some nice plays to lock in. And if you guys aren't already on Underdog, click our link in the description below and sign up using code BETBLITZ, because when you do, you'll receive a free pick as well as $1,000 in bonus cash. And right now, Underdog is doing a nice little promotion, giving an additional $100 for $5 placed on bets. So make sure you guys aren't missing out on any free money. And again, if you aren't already on Underdog, sign up using our code BETBLITZ, and trust us, your profits will increase. Now for our third play, we'll be under the rebounds plus assists tab, and this time we'll be taking Pascal Siakam for less than 11.5 rebounds plus assists. Now taking a quick look here on Outlier, we see that this line, Pascal Siakam, has actually failed in 7 of his last 10 games to reach. Additionally, this line, Pascal Siakam, has failed to exceed in 75% of his last 20 games, in 5 of his last 9 matchups versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, as well as a line that he failed to exceed in over 70% of the games he played last season in both the regular season and playoffs. Now, Pascal Siakam and the Indiana Pacers will be facing off against an Oklahoma City Thunder defense that this season has been pretty below average overall when it comes to defending against their opponent's rebounds. They are very solid overall when it comes to defending against their opponent playmaking. However, for his position, Pascal Siakam has never been a great rebounder and is not much of a playmaker. And taking a quick look here at Oklahoma City Thunder's defense against his position, we see that the Thunder have been pretty solid overall defending forwards overall rebounds plus assists. And again, Siakam is not typically a player that has been a great rebounder as well as playmaker, especially for his position. So coming into this game, we don't expect Pascal Siakam to have plenty of opportunity to reach this line. Now taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Pascal Siakam is getting a solid dose of minutes per game over his last 10 games, just under 34 minutes per game. However, again, all these games were from last season in the NBA Finals, as well as the playoffs, where his minute total was a lot higher. And with this being the start of the season for the Indiana Pacers, and with how much they will likely rely on Siakam this season, we aren't expecting them to really run him in the ground minutes-wise, especially early on in the season like this, and for him to get significantly less minutes than this average of games as of late. In his career, again, Siakam has not been that great of a rebounder for his position. He's never been too much of a playmaker either. Last season, just under 7 rebounds per game and right around 3 assists. And again, coming into this game against a very big team in the Oklahoma City Thunder, we aren't expecting too much rebound opportunity for Pascal Siakam and for him to fall below his line. So for all these reasons, we'll be taking Pascal Siakam for less than 11.5 rebounds plus assists. Alright, those are our picks for today, and remember to stay tuned to the end of this video for that extra bonus pick. And again, take a moment to hit that like button. We do have a like goal, and if this video gets above 150 likes, we will be dropping bonus picks again in our next video. And again, if the picks in this video weren't enough for you and you'd like access to even more picks, click our link in the description below to sign up for the outlet. These guys are the premier sports betting community, and right now, if you sign up using code BLITZ, they will give you a 15% off into the most elite sports betting community, so go give them a look. All right, now for our bonus pick, and this time we'll be headed over to the 3-point attempted tab, and this time we'll be taking Buddy Hield for more than 6.5 3 points attempted. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, we see that this line, Buddy Hield, has actually exceeded in 6 of his last 10 games, including in Game 1 of the regular season, going 10 attempts in this game. Additionally, this line, Buddy Hield, has exceeded in 10 of the last 20 games he's played. Again, most of these being from last season, but still, Buddy Hield has always been a prolific 3-point shooter. Additionally, this line, Buddy Hield, last season exceeded in nearly 50% of the games he played, about 95 games he played in total last season. Additionally, Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors will be facing off against a Denver Nuggets defense that has not been very good overall when it comes to defending against their opponent's perimeter shooting. Last season, allowing some of the most 3-point attempts in the league. Now, the Nuggets have had some roster turnover, but not as much that we feel it will substantially change the Nuggets' defensive identity. Now, taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Buddy Hield is getting a solid dose of minutes per game over his last 10 games, just under 30 minutes per game. And again, just in 22 minutes in Game 1 of the regular season, he was able to get up 10 attempts from behind the arc. And one of the things we do like about Buddy Hield is that he's not just jacking up threes, he still is shooting pretty efficiently from behind the arc, 45% from 3 on over 7 attempts per game over his last 10 games. Again, Game 1, he was 50% from the field after getting up 10 attempts, which is very impressive. So we do like Hield to get some more playing time in Game 2 of the regular season for the Golden State Warriors, and for him to have plenty of time as well as opportunity to reach this line. On his career, again, Buddy Hield has always gotten up a lot of 3-point attempts per game, 7.5 3-point attempts per game on his career. Again, Game 1 getting up 10 3-point attempts, and over his last 3 seasons he's been around at least 7 3-point attempts per game, which we do like to see. And again, after his nice 3-point shooting performance in Game 1, we are expecting more playing time for Buddy Hield and for him to get more opportunity to reach this line. So for all these reasons, for our bonus pick, we are taking Buddy Hield for more than 6.5 3 points attempted. If you're new to the channel, take a moment to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you can have early access to our picks as soon as we post and before the lines get bumped. We thank you to all of our channel members. We thank you for all of your recent support, and we'll see you in our next video.